Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I've kind of decided to do a compilation video, I guess you could call it, where I'm going to show you the 4 best prismatic builds that I've used so far in Lightfall. Some using exotic bonds, some using normal legendaries, so there should be a little bit of something for everyone here. I'm running this lost sector I'm currently doing, but on legendary mode. Or on, yeah, legendary mode. Obviously, it's not going to be this easy. I'll show you the full unedited gameplay, how each build performs, what it's good at, what it's bad at. Maybe I'll do a little voiceover. I already filmed all the different segments. I just am going to compile them together and give you a little synopsis on how each one performs. I will catch you guys in the build. Alright. So with our first clip, it's the build you just seen in the background of the last one. This is the build that everyone's been using since day one, essentially. It's my own version of it, but let's be honest here. It's very similar to everyone else's. It's just the good old eat your grenade, get 2 turrets setup. This isn't my favorite build anymore, but it was a lot of fun for the legendary campaign, not gonna lie. It really worked well. I used it for the first 4 or 5 missions, I would say. And then I unlocked Lightning Surge, and then I used Lightning Surge for the rest, which I will show you in the future. But this is going to be pretty reliable for most people. The champion capabilities for this is pretty decent. This overload champion kept giving me problems, like he would just teleport and I could never find him. I did 1 take for all of these, that way I'm not just trying and restarting to get the best results. This is just my very first run on each of the 4 builds, so that you kind of get a good estimate of how easy or hard they are to use. Like, I don't want to sit and retry until I get a perfect run just to try to boost up one build over another. They all perform pretty well, but this one's main strength is obviously it's got great crowd control. You can very easily control lockdown a room even as a solo player, which is pretty tough. Its main weakness, no ashes to assets perk. Those guys just teleported into existence and killed me. That seems to happen. The overload champion gives me problems too in some of these other runs, but I mean, it's got a pretty simple gameplay loop. You just throw down turrets on cooldown, get transcendence, throw down more turrets after you're done. All the builds are mostly similar. Every one of them uses Feed the Void. I'll say Feed the Void is like a must-used exotic, or not exotic, but a fragment. But they all use a different variation. This one uses the Stasis turret. One of them uses Arc Surge, or the Arc Uppercut. I always forget what it's called. Lightning Surge, I believe. One of them uses Helion. I think actually 2 of them use Helion. But either way, you get a little bit of everything. I don't use Weaver's Call, I just think Helion's just better as like a general frame of reference. Supers, I mean, you can either run Nova Bomb or Song of Flame on Prismatic Warlock realistically. At least this season. Nova Bomb's good with Expanding Abyss over Needlestorm. I was wondering what was killing me. The boss spawned in. but I will catch you guys with the next gameplay, since, I mean, you kind of get a general feel. You can go to about 50 different YouTubers for the setup on this build. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Alrighty, this is probably my favorite build in the game right now. It's utilizing Star Eater Scales plus Heart of Inmost Light on the exotic bond. Obviously, it's a 1 in 64 to get the rolls, so I don't expect everyone to have given this a try yet, but if you get this roll, man, is it awesome. I run 2 kinetic weapons to try to farm Transcendence really fast, and you have great mid-game, and you have a nuclear level Nova Bomb to whip out. I made an individual build on this one. I'm assuming if you're watching this one, you've probably seen that one. But this cooks, to say the least. It goes to town. This is different than the one I shown. This one's utilizing Blast Furnace plus Microchasm. So, it'll erase everything. Microchasm is so good. Like, it carries hard. You get your super really fast, you get Transcendence really quick. Nothing to complain about. You'll notice I won't die for this entire duration. Spoilers, but there's not much other commentary I can really give to this build since I made a whole dedicated video on it. Maybe I'll make a dedicated video on all of them eventually, but I will catch you guys in the next one once I finish doing the last sector. Alrighty here. Jumping back to a run where I'm using just a normal exotic. This time I am utilizing Felwinter's Helm. I am going for a build here to where you can arc uppercut with lightning surge and then weaken and disorient all the enemies around while jolting them. Overall, it's a pretty strong build. I used this in the second half of the legendary campaign. It worked wonderfully. It's got great crowd control, weakens for your teammates. I mean, it's very simple to do, and it utilizes the fragments pretty well. Like, I like to get the one where you have volatile rounds on your void weapons plus unraveling on your strand, since you're running 2 strand and 1 void weapon. Not to mention you get your super quicker since I'm using the call plus the new strand machine gun. I'm guessing this overload's gonna be a pain. I did manage to stun him, so that made it easy. This build will rip and tear. You just gotta be careful since it's a melee warlock build, so playing up close is a big gamble a lot of the time. Finishing is not bad on this setup either. I probably don't do it too much, and but it's even a bigger weaken blast area. We'll see if I die here. Obviously, this is way more dangerous of a play style, so if I die, that makes sense. But Graviton is awesome. Stuns barriers this season, and it's just a great weapon overall. I prefer Nova Bomb with this setup. It tends to be better for one and done, but also Song of Flame is good too because it works with powered melee kills weakening. But I tend to want to spend more time in my actual ability. Oh, yep. Meleeing an Exploder Shank is not smart, but this gameplay loop is really simple. You just dive into enemies, weaken the ones around. It performed really well in the Legendary campaign. I'd highly recommend this one. And because it's not a bond, everyone has access to it, so there's no reason not to give this one a try if you like any sort of melee build. But I'll let you enjoy the rest of this gameplay. I'll catch you in the very final one of our quad builds. Alrighty, this is our last build of this setup. This one I just made a couple days ago since I just got access to this role on the bond. But this is another bond build, so it's using Osmiomancy and Mantle of Battle Harmony. So essentially, kills matching your super with a weapon gives you more super energy. Pretty simple, and then your grenades come back really fast as long as they're doing hits. This build works very well. I pair it with Song of Flame plus 2 solar weapons. I'm just using my Callus mini tool here since I needed barrier. I was using the new support auto rifle crafted with the demo incandescent. Works equally as well here. But it's just a matter of, do you have access to that yet? But either way, this setup's gonna do you well. I like Dragon's Breath as my heavy of choice with this specific setup, since it just is great single target damage and great splash damage. It'll help you farm up your super quick. So there's not too much gameplay looping. Like Heart of Inmost Light, you gotta spam all 3 abilities on cooldown. This one, not as much. I mean, you still want to be using your class ability since you have the Solar Mortar here. It's just does a lot of good work. I'm running Incinerator Snap instead of Arcane Needle here just because it kind of fits the theming of the build more. Once again, that Overload champion is causing me troubles. He's being kind of goofy, so I'm whiffing my nades. You can kind of perma-stun barrier champs here, which is pretty nice. The overload is still looming somewhere, probably. Yeah, he helped kill me. That's the problem with not running an overload weapon. They're freaking sneaky and teleport around. Unfortunately, to get Transcendence, you have to get kills with something other than solar stuff, so that's why I'm using the call a little more than you think you would want to with a setup here where you're trying to farm up your super with solar weapons. These teleporty guys are a little obnoxious. The enemies are jank in this, so I died here again. I know this isn't the greatest showcase in the world, but this Overload champion was really giving me a tough go, a tough run for my money. So take it with a grain of salt. Like I said, I didn't want to do multiple runs. That felt against the spirit of the challenge. But as you can see how quick you get your grenade back this build. So another reason why I chose Dragon's Breath was because it gives you fire sprites, which gives you your grenade ability back or quicker when you pick them up. So I should be able to easily kill this guy with Dragon's Breath, granted it hits. I'm trying to farm up Transcendence still so I can get a good weekend grenade. I have plenty of rockets to clean him up. It's just a matter of surviving. This is not the intended way to use Dragon's Breath. You want to be swapping off and scorching other things. I barely am living here. Thank God for Devour. But yeah, I'm going to clean up with my super. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And let me know which one of the 4 builds down below you would pick over the rest. I'll catch you guys in another video. Maybe a full build guide on some of these guys. See ya.